Greetings, anatomy fans. I am Lissa Mahalik at somaticanatomy.com, and this is my good friend Napoleon Boney Parts, who will be, he's my brand new assistant. I am so incredibly excited to see him. If you want to see exactly how excited, I will put down there the link to the unboxing video. Because come on, unboxing tech toys is one thing, but unboxing a skeleton, that's seriously cool. You can see that he is not only, he is not only ready for Pride Month, but he is ready for SOAS class coming up in a couple of weeks. June 26th to 28th, there will be a free SOAS class, and you can find that, sign up at somaticanatomy.com, or you can just go to somaticanatomy.com and click on the sign up for the free SOAS class, so that's online, because it's going to be awesome. So this week in my online class, I finally got through a lot of the technical, molecules, etc. I'm so looking forward to applications of that. I really am. Just learning about the molecules, not super exciting, but learning about the applications, that's going to be cool. So I will let you guys know about that when it happens. Meantime, I'm finally into body systems, and here are the gems that I've gleaned about the skeletal system. So, as we know, the bones' jobs are to support body structures. Without bones, we'd just be a big pile of goo on the floor, and that would kind of suck. However, it's also, like if you look at Boney here, you can see how he's got the rib cage, he's got the skull, and he's got he's got his spinal column, and he's got his pelvic bowl, and these structures are all to help protect internal organs. So really protecting the vital structures is a huge part of the skeleton's job, so thanks, Boney. In conjunction with muscles, bones help us move, because muscles got to have something to pull on, because that's much more efficient than just kind of oozing along the ground. I mean, amoebas do it really well, but they're single-celled animals. Once you get to multicellular, it really helps to have some sort of structure to pull on. Hematopoiesis. Hematopoiesis. Try that for spelling bee. That's the making of blood. And that happens in the red marrow of your bones. A lot of your long bones have red marrow in. So bones aren't just these dry supportive things. They're also full of marrow that helps us make our blood cells. This is key. This is really important. So the bones actually have an immune function, because one of those cells they make is white blood cells, immune cells. So yes, the bones have an immune function. Just saying. #IJS. And the other really interesting yet somewhat obscure job of bones is the storage and release, when necessary, of minerals, specifically calcium and phosphorus. So if we are low on blood calcium or blood phosphorus, both of which are really useful for, little things like muscle contractions. No muscle contractions, no working heart. The heart is a muscle. And conducting neural signals, which is also really important. If I want my hands to flail around as I'm talking, I can't do that without my nerves talking to my hands and helping me talk with my hands, so to speak. So skeletal system, it's awesome. As most of you guys probably know, or if you don't, I'm going to effing remind you, the skeleton is divided into two parts. It's the axial and the appendicular skeletons. Now the axial, I love having Boney right here. So here's the skull, the rib cage, the sternum, and the vertebrae, sacrum, and tailbone. So that is your axial skeleton. That is your axis of your body. So its job is to protect and support some really vital organs like, your brain, your spinal cord, your heart, and your lungs. These are pretty important things. It also provides central stability for the body. Like this, these are your core bones. We're always talking about core muscles. Someday I'm going to get really into those core muscles, because next time your doctor tells you to strengthen your core, ask him or her exactly what muscles he or she is talking about. You will be amazed and possibly quite shocked. Or you might have a really smart doctor, who knows. But, so these are your core bones. Your vertebrae, sacrum, and tailbone, rib cage, sternum, and skull. That includes your mandible, your jaw, just saying. So then your appendicular skeleton, which is basically all those other bones. That includes the arms, so your upper limb, humerus, radius, ulna, wrist and hand bones, your shoulder girdle, also known as your pectoral girdle, that's a thing. So that's your scapula. You can't quite see it because it's on Boney's back, and the clavicle as well. So that right there, where your clavicle attaches to your sternum, that is where your entire upper limb attaches to your axial skeleton. That is the only physical bony connection of your upper limb to your axial skeleton. Just saying. Isn't that cool? And it also includes the appendicular skeleton. Is also, yes, your leg bones, but your pelvic halves as well. So this pelvic half, these are actually considered part of your appendages. So axial, it's your axis. Appendicular, your appendages. You know, it's when you're taking over the world and you're being all steampunk and you're making robotic appendages. Well, you've also got bony appendages that just kind of grew there. And as they grew, as you were developing, your little ball of cells in your mom's uterus, the axial skeleton, your spine, your rib cage, your vertebrae, your sacrum and tailbone developed from one set of stem cells, while your shoulder girdle, your upper limbs, your lower limbs, and your pelvic halves develop from different tissue. So not only are the pelvic halves different tissue, but if you stand up and walk around with your hands on your hips, you will feel how your pelvic halves move in response to the movement of your legs. So your legs go all the way up to the top of your hip bones. Mic drop. So other cool things about the skeletal system is bones have two different types of bone. And there's the compact bone, and that's that tightly packed ringed microstructure. It's usually what we think about the outside of the bones. Bones, they're hard, they're stiff, they're sturdy. They keep us from falling into pools of goo on the floor. It gives stiffness, but compact bone, which is also called cortical bone or lamellar bone. So if you hear cortical, lamellar, compact bone, it's all the same thing. It gives rigidity, it gives stiffness, but it can be really heavy and frankly can be kind of brittle. So it's got strength, but doesn't have any give to it. Now the reason we don't break bones every time we fall over or bump into something is spongy bone. That's usually on the inside. That's this porous microstructure. So spongy bone is also called cancellous bone, C-A-N-C-E-L-L-O-U-S, cancellous, or trabecular bone. And that has that porous microstructure inside. It allows a little bit of bend, a little bit of give. So again, when we bump into things, we don't just crack our compact bone, because that would suck, just saying. Allows a little bit of bend. It reduces the weight of the bone, so we're not hauling these gigantic heavy bones around. This is why we like our personal gravitational pull, because if we had more gravitational pull, we'd need thicker, heavier bones and much bigger muscles. We would look kind of different. So the spongy bone, again, it allows a little bit of bend, it reduces weight, it helps us avoid bone cracking, which is kind of nice. So two kinds of bone, compact, also known as cortical or lamellar bone, and spongy, also known as cancellous or trabecular, so with little holes in it. The holes are called trabeculae, or trabeculi, I'm sorry, AE is pronounced I. Anybody has any questions as to how to pronounce things, email me. I have a friend who's a Latin and Greek scholar who is willing to help us out with pronunciation. So it is officially erector spinae and trabeculi. So that is kind of our overview of the skeleton for today. I'm going to leave you with two really fun little tidbits that I hadn't really thought about until I was going through this. So when you're talking about flexion at the elbow, all of the muscles that provide, pretty much most of the muscles that provide flexion are attached to your radius. Radius is on the same side as your thumb because your radius is rad. And the attachments for the muscles that extend your elbow are attached to the ulna, which is kind of interesting. So extensor tendons, flexor tendons, which is kind of an interesting thing. I'm going to go more into that later as I dig deeper and discover, but I hadn't really thought about it that way, and I thought you guys would enjoy knowing about that. So Again, go to somaticanatomy.com, check out the psoas. We are proud of our psoai. So, now I got to ask, what's the plural of psoas? Psoases? I'll find out. I'll let you guys know. So go to somaticanatomy.com, sign up for the free Enjoy Your psoas class. It's going to be really fun. It's a 3-day video class online, and we're going to go into origins, insertions, attachments, movements, connections between body parts, and we're going to get a little bit into some of the developmental movement patterns, which is always kind of exciting. So check out somaticanatomy.com, sign up for the wonderful world of enjoying your psoas, and enjoy your anatomy, and I will see you out there in the wonderful world of the internet or live. We're going to do a few classes live in New York coming up, so especially in August, lots of classes coming up in August. So keep posted on our site or right here in our emails, because this is where we do most of our communicating, honestly. Enjoy your anatomy. See you out there.